Wow. So, when we communicated, when we emailed originally, you said that there was one big change in your business that really made a difference. Can you talk about, I mean, in general, your story, right? I mean, 2011 to 2020, 9 years, long time, lots changes. We're an advertising firm, and from an advertising technology perspective, a ton changes. I can only imagine what's happening in your world. Like, tell us about some of the changes you've seen and like how you've evolved your business to kind of like create exponential growth.
Of course. I think the biggest issue in IT, well, really in any business, but in IT specifically, is incentives alignment. A typical IT person will be contracted. You'll spend a fair bucket of money building a solution. You, as a client, will pay for the hardware. And then every time this hardware breaks, you'll have someone in your office at, a service call, minimum an hour or two, a couple of $100 an hour. And these bills just run up. And that's the thing that I hear from many clients that switch to our service, is that these people install these systems and then they're basically paid every time their systems malfunction, and it's not, the incentives are not aligned at that point. So that's why we've flipped the model, and we build systems from the ground up that are meant never to fail, and we support them, we train you on them, we lease you the actual systems and ultimately the outcomes. And for that reason, there's no frustration, because if we have to spend 10 hours at a client fixing an oopsie that we made, years earlier or whatever, something that snowballed, that's money that we're not getting back. So the incentives are finally aligned. Our incentive is to build something so that it's bulletproof. And the client's incentive is, whenever there's anything wrong, to let us know, because they're not paying for us to come out and fix it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the LA Business Podcast. If you like what we're doing on this podcast, please consider subscribing on Apple or Google Play, leaving a 5-star review, and sharing with your friends. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations for a guest you'd like to hear on this podcast, please email me, robert@brillmedia.co. Thank you. Have a fantastic day.